right. Yep.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back.
We back. Hey, if you like this, comment, subscribe, and hit that like button for us. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Give us your opinions, comments, everything in the comments. Like, subscribe, share.
Yep. This is for my Sports Spit Click, the CLICK.
Yes, sir.
Hit them comments. All right. 1, 2, 3. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Be Real Entertainment presents Sports Spit, and I'm your host, Jay Maurice, with my co-host,
Slick Vic, Victor Gordon. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Hey, we coming to you from the Hall of Game, where we're giving you 360 degrees of game. For those that don't understand, that's game all way round.
Yes, sir.
Hey, the finals. It's
Finals.
here. It's here.
The grand finale.
It's I ain't gonna say it's what we all been waiting for, because I didn't expect for the Miami Heat to be here, but they here.
Yeah, nobody's
I'm glad they here. You know, even though I called them a bad bitch or a sexy catfish, either way, it's the same. It's the same. You know, but you know, I knew that they would be tight as long as they had that defense. And it's the Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets. And
yes, sir.
What you got to say about this series, Vic?
Well, I think that I think Miami did a good job getting here. Jimmy Butler,
Great job.
Put the team on his back. You know, he's been the driving force of the team. He's wheeled his team to the NBA Finals. With a big assist from Caleb Miller in the Western Conference Finals.
Caleb Martin,
yeah. Balled out. But you know, unfortunately, I think this is when the clock strikes 12 and that Cadillac turned to a pumpkin, man. I think this is where the fairy tale ends and reality sets in. I just think that Denver Nuggets they got too much firepower for Miami to.
Well, everybody expect for Denver. Denver is the favorite, right? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But Miami, they playing with house money. They playing with house money, baby. When you play with house money, you got to win. You know. Like I said, Denver's the favorite, but I'm gonna ride with Miami. I'm gonna ride with Miami on this, just because everybody going with Denver, and I ain't going with everybody. I ain't like everybody. I'm cut different. You know what I'm saying? You cut so different.
You picking Miami with already down 1-0?
The series just started already, and Miami is down 1-0. But one game don't make a series. You know, one game do not make a series. And yeah, I'm a ride with Miami. You know, even though I know Denver's the favorite, yeah, it's cool.
Smart money's on Denver.
It's cool. But you know, put $100 down, put a couple hundred down on Miami, and boy, you'll win.
Where's this confidence coming from? I need to know what do you see? What makes you think that Miami can beat Denver 4 times? So what do you see? You know,
like I've been saying all year, if they bring that defense, they can do it.
I mean,
that defense, man, it's that defense, and they just got a grit and grind type team. Like, remember back in the day when Memphis had that
the grit and grind, yeah.
Z-Bo and Tony Allen.
Yeah.
They had that grit and grind
Marc
type
Gasol,
of they had that grit and grind type of defense. And I feel like Miami got that same type of defense, that same grit and grind.
Yeah, I mean, but how many titles that grit and grind winning?
They never made it there. Miami have a chance to take it to where they couldn't. You know, and it's really you do know you win on defense. You do know defense wins championships, and that's true, man. If your team ain't jailing right on defense, you know, this ain't a up and down, I'll score, you score, who outscores each other. That don't work no more, because you got to play half court defense, and when you got to go to half court, that's when the grit and grind. You know, that's when it really, you know, focus in. That's when it really happens.
I mean, I think I don't know about historic, but I think the defense thing comes and goes in kind of waves. I mean, you got to play some defense to win, but the best defense, the better defensive team doesn't always win a championship.
Give me an instance when the best defense team didn't win.
When the Lakers beat the Celtics in 2009,
we had the best defense. When I say we, I'm talking about the Lakers. We had the best defense. And the best offense. That's why we won.
Let me think about some other teams.
Kobe.
Yeah. Let's see. We had last year the Warriors. The Warriors. The Celtics. The Celtics had the number one rated defense last year.
The number one rated defense don't
what
mean
is the difference?
The best defense is who played the best, who was playing the best defense.
And they had statistically the Celtics had the best defense.
Negative.
So then what are we talking about then? What are we were talking about who win? Like what are we talking about?
The Warriors had the best The Warriors had the best defense. That's why, Mr. Curry was, putting them to sleep.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know. We won. We had the best defense. Defense wins championships. Back to my original statement, my original point.
I think that when the Mavericks beat the Heat probably had the better defense. But the Mavericks, had Dirk and Jason Terry, and I just think
on paper don't count. That who got it on paper.
I'm talking about statistically. I'm not talking about on paper.
They couldn't have had the better defense. They lost.
You think that Dallas Mavericks team played nasty defense?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
all right.
But if you could, for this series, I know you rocking with Denver. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, rocking with them might be strong. I think they're gonna win the series. I'm not rocking with them, but I'm picking them to win the series.
Oh, okay, so
they ain't like I ain't adopting them.
Step on over there.
I ain't adopting them.
Over there.
Nah, man, they took my boys out. So I think they're gonna win, but I ain't rocking with them. Like
Okay.
I just think they're gonna win.
Well, give me the good, the bad, and the ugly for this series.
For
this series.
For the series in general, or the Heat, or for the Nuggets.
For the series, though, for whatever you think is the good, the bad, and the ugly.
The good, let's see. I think the good is Jokic being put on a national stage where the whole world can see him. I think this is going to be kind of a coming out party of sorts, because I don't think the whole world knows who Jokic is.
They know.
And I don't know. I mean, but do they know his name, or have they seen him play? I think people know his name. I don't think people seen him play.
Dude, the 2-time MVP.
That don't mean nobody's seen him play.
Somebody had to see him play.
How much were you checking for Jokic?
I would see him because he would play my Warriors.
Yeah, so you weren't checking for Jokic.
I wasn't checking for
him.
But
that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
But I seen him play though. But go ahead, finish it off.
And so I think this is where, Jokic is going to get his flowers, as per se, and he's going to get his just due as being a great player. Okay. And people will actually see that. The bad, I think the bad is this effort for the Miami Heat is this magical run is gonna be in vain. I just don't think they have the firepower to keep up. They're apparently supposed to be getting Tyler Hero back, but he can't stop nobody. I don't know how much you can play him, but they're gonna be doing that zone, so who knows? But Denver didn't have a problem solving the zone in the first game, so I don't see how it hinders them going forward.
Okay.
And the ugly, well, I like to hope that the scores don't get ugly. But I don't know if I have something that'll get yeah, that's probably the potential for it to get ugly is for it being a short series, or for it just being a lopsided series, game wise and score wise. Because I didn't really see not much that gives me faith for what Miami can do to slow Denver down. They were just seemed like they firing on all cylinders for pretty much the whole game. And I think why they let Miami back in the game is because they kind of just just lulled themselves to sleep. They got complacent.
Okay.
And I think it's the only reason why the score, they kind of reeled them back in there at the end.
Okay. Well, I would say that the good would be for this series. It's two different teams. It ain't the normal Lakers, Warriors, Celtics. We got two fresh new teams.
Yeah, I mean, but the foundation of the league was built on them teams.
but still, it's good that
fresh
some
blood.
some other teams is in there.
I hear you.
And Steph don't get a chance to get all the trophies and
can't get all the rings, man.
So.
Jordan couldn't even get all the rings.
Right. So that's the good for me. We got fresh blood.
Yeah, okay.
The bad would be let's see. I ain't really thought about the bad. The bad would be somebody getting hurt or Jokic showing out. That would be the bad for me.
Him showing out? What do you mean? Like him just
triple double every game?
What's wrong with that?
That wouldn't be good for Miami.
I thought this was for the series.
That is for the series.
Okay.
That would be for the series.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And the ugly is a sweep. I wouldn't want to see a sweep in this series. So Miami, y'all got to do y'all thing. One game don't constitute a championship. And y'all can still afford to lose both games here in Denver and still do your thing, as long as y'all take care of business when you get home. That's my thing.
Don't do it. That's too much pressure. That's
a lot of pressure.
Denver's too good of a team to beat them, because then you got to beat them 4 out of 6.
Yeah, but as long as you got to do like one game at a time, like how Boston almost did, one game at a time.
Yeah, Boston almost did it to Miami. Ain't nobody almost did it to the Nuggets.
Yeah, well,
ain't nobody got more than 2 on the Nuggets.
Yeah, you right.
Nuggets only lost 3 games the whole postseason.
And they undefeated at home.
Yeah.
So, hey, hats off to
and they
them
still
Denver
got 3 more games at home.
Hats off to them Denver Nuggets. But what did you see in the first game, Vic? What you that caught your eye?
That Jokic doesn't have to shoot the ball to be the best player on the court.
But he still ended up with what?
27
he had
points? 27 points on 12 shots.
Yeah.
And so if he can keep playing like that, like, he ain't even really got to shoot much. It's just crazy, because I'm sure Miami was like keyed in on him, but he only took 12 shots. That's that's 3 shots a quarter. Like, so he ain't even doing a whole bunch of work.
Right.
And so he's killing them. He had 14 assists. Like, he's just killing them. He killing them with the pass and finding the open guy, and those guys are running. It's been very easy for him to dissect the defense.
The defense was what, zone that they started out with, or did they play the whole game with zone? I gotta apologize. I seen like the first half, and I fell asleep. I couldn't stay up. Plus, I had to go to work the next day.
Yeah, I mean they played zone. They came out of it once they started getting tore up. They came out of it for They came out of it for a stretch, maybe 6 minutes or so. They came out of it for a while.
Okay.
But then they went back to it. And eventually they got back in the game. But I think, like, again, I just think the Nuggets got complacent. Stopped running their zone offense or whatever, and people just forcing a couple shots because they were feeling good.
What I seen from watching the highlights of the second half was Kyle Lowry. Lowry seasoning salt. There was some seasoning on him, and he was popping them threes, man. And, he got them back in the game, from what I could see.
Yeah, Larry hit he hit 3 threes. He went 3 of 6 from 3, and so that was big for them. Yeah, that was big for them.
But that was key. I mean, you look at it like, okay, 3 for 6, but those 3 was in. It seemed like they was in key moments when they really needed a big bucket, when they was coming drawing close. They got close, like 11. Was it like 11?
They got it under 10.
They got it under 10.
They had it under 10. They had it.
Okay.
Then they got it down to like 7. About 7 was probably about the closest they got.
Okay.
And then then they just give it back to Jokic and let him do his thing, and they get a good shot, and they get the stiff arm again.
Not the stiff arm.
Yeah, stiff arm.
Oh no.
And you don't keep your space player.
Oh no, the stiff arm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What I noticed in the first half was Miami had matchup problems. They couldn't match up with Jokic, and Aaron Gordon was a handful.
He was killing them in the first quarter. He came out.
He was.
Again, they were playing that zone in the first quarter, and how they play it was they have Bam Adebayo. He comes out and plays in the center, free throw line.
This was the zone that they was playing.
Yeah, they were playing 3-2 zone. So they like to put Bam out in the middle. With his wingspan and his long arms to kind of cause havoc there. But they have guards on the back end near the rim, and so they have Vincent by the rim. And Aaron Gordon just put him in a chamber. Like, it was just like, oh, come on, man.
Put him in a blender.
Yeah, like, oh, yeah. Like,
put him in a blender. He was a smoothie.
And so, yeah, and he can't do nothing with Aaron Gordon. Like, he just can't. I mean, nobody would expect him to. Yeah, nobody would expect him to.
But I don't see who they can, like I said, matchups. I don't see who they can.
Well, they got it under control.
I don't see who they're gonna be able to bring the matchup well with.
They just got to make sure that Jimmy Butler's on him, or Caleb Miller or Caleb Martin's on him.
I think he might even be a little bit too strong for Jimmy.
Yeah, well, but I don't think. I mean, I think he's too strong for Jimmy, but his offense game still ain't super refined. So I just think you put that bigger body on him, he.
But if he getting all the dunks like that, I mean, he just going to the whole cut and making cuts, and they hitting him, and Jokic hitting him, and it's a matchup nightmare.
They put him under control. He had 12 to 14 points in that first quarter alone. And he ended up with 16. So once they started paying attention to him and finding him in transition, they fared a lot better, and they pretty much they cut that off. So they just gotta keep that in mind for game 2, because you don't want that to rear his head again on game 2. So hopefully you hope they learn from that, and keep. And just make sure they find him in transition. Because if he's not scoring in transition, he's an offensive liability. Because if he's got to create anything or
he didn't seem like an offensive liability to me.
Well, yeah, when he was getting layups. But once he stopped getting layups, what did he do? He had 2 points.
But like you said, he was out there for he played 36 minutes.
Yeah, that's 3 quarters.
And I mean, they still won by 12. What was the score?
I know what the final is. Let's see. I think it was about 11 or so.
Yeah, so I mean, it didn't seem like he was that much of a liability offensive. And when you got Jokic and Murray and Porter Jr.
Yeah, I mean, well, the ball was just hitting the open man, and so.
And that boy Brown, that Brown boy.
Yeah.
He was coming off the bench doing his thizzle.
Yeah, the role players, the KCP, KCP, Gordon, Brown, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
All they got to do, they don't even got to play above their heads, man. They just gotta come in and do what they typically do.
Right.
Because Jokic and Murray, they gonna carry the day, man. Murray had 22, 11 to 22. Not really efficient. You like to see
11 to 22. That is efficient. That's 50%.
Yeah, but your point of shot isn't the best efficiency. He shot a good percentage.
11 to 22.
Yeah,
that's 50%
for 22 points. It's still a point of shot. I mean, yeah, he shot 50%, but
I mean, you could only really want to shoot 50%. Everybody ain't gonna be, Jokic. Everybody ain't gonna have Jokic numbers. What about them guys shooting 30 and 40%? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you like to see,
he shot 50%. That's man. Miami got to do something about that. Oh, and another thing. I could say the bad would be the how the refs calling the game.
How do they call the game?
Miami only got 2 free throws the whole game.
Was that Miami fault though? Like what?
Man, nah. I think it could have been that. Like I said, I didn't see the second half, so I can't really stand on it.
What you seen from the first half?
They could call something other than Denver getting all the calls. You know what I'm saying? What was Miami? Even it out. So you saying that all they did was just take jump shots?
Yes, that's what they were. Yeah, they were taking jump shots.
Nobody went to the hole. Nobody went to the hole.
I watched the whole game. I didn't see an egregious.
It had to be for them to only get 2 free throws.
Or they could have just not been aggressive.
That just don't sound right. I'm gonna tell you, I've been watching basketball since the early '80s, and I ain't never seen, especially a playoff game where everything get tighter. A team only get 2 free throws.
Well, ain't nobody ever seen it. It was the record.
Right.
ain't nobody ever seen it. But I don't remember anything. I don't remember Miami getting like bad calls or just not getting calls at all.
Call.
Yeah, I don't remember feeling like Miami was getting done unjustly.
You know why? Because you ain't a Miami fan. If you was a Miami fan, you would be like, that man, they call it. But Jokic getting a call. They was tweeting it up. And it seemed like they got the same referees that was the Lakers and Warriors referees.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
That seemed like them the same referees. They called everything on the Lakers.
With me not being a Denver fan, or not a Denver fan, with me not being a Miami Heat fan, I just think that means that I'm objective. I'm not biased.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't got a dog in the fight either, but what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong.
Well, what were the plays like? You watched the first half.
Yeah.
How many times you see somebody get thrown on the ground where they should have got free throws? They got robbed.
You don't have to get thrown on the ground to get a free throw.
I'm saying what are the calls that you feel like were missed? Like how many instances do you remember? How many things do you remember that happened where you was like, oh yeah, man, that was some bull.
Man, I mean, they didn't call it. It was like back the other way. I'm like,
I just don't think they weren't the aggressive team, man. They weren't the aggressors, and they were playing. I think they were.
I just hope it go better or different. Or just at least make it even, man.
I just think they were playing with the energy that they just came off a Game 7 emotional win. And I think that they weren't really up for the game like they could have been. And I don't think it's probably kind of a natural thing after having a big emotional win like that. And then you also just having a grueling 7-game series, which they didn't need to have. But
that's for real.
Yeah. So I mean, they got
almost
nobody to
blew
blame,
that
but
shit.
yeah, they got no one to blame but themselves for that. Why they came into Denver unrested, but you know,
Plus that altitude. That
yeah, and the altitude,
I
that
think
too.
the second game they ought to be acclimated to the altitude, and it shouldn't affect them as much.
Well, apparently they were scheduled to fly there after the game 7, so they should have, had several days to kind of get the practice acclimate.
No, you got to play.
That's what practice is. What do you think practice is? What's the difference?
No.
You
practice in the game is
practice.
Practice in the game is two different. It's two different sports. I mean, it's almost like two different sports. Like you play basketball, right? And basketball, when you go to practice, it ain't the same as playing in the game.
I ain't never played in a mile high altitude.
Well, I ain't never played in a mile high altitude either, but it's different and it's harder. It's harder in the game than practice. Although you might run a lot more, but other than that,
I mean, but it's just about getting your wind. About being able to breathe. And I think as long as they had some days of scrimmage, they could have kind of got over that. But I mean, that's just me. But I don't want to make excuses for them because.
Is that what I'm doing? Making excuses?
Yeah, because ain't nobody gonna want to hear that.
Yeah.
Nobody. I didn't. As a Laker fan, I didn't say nothing about altitude. I don't want to hear nothing about that altitude. I don't care. That's
Yeah, because y'all just got straight dusted. But that's neither here nor there, and I ain't gonna go back and forth with you. But shout out to Denver. They did their thing. I expect them for real. I expect them to win the next game.
Who, Denver?
Yeah.
And you expect Miami to be down 0-2 and win the series?
I expect Miami to come back and win they 2 games at home, and then go back to Denver tied 2-2.
So they go sweep them. You say
No. I did not say Miami gonna win they 2 games at home in Miami. And then they gonna go back to Denver tied 2-2.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying they're gonna win the games 3 and 4.
No. We Denver gonna win the next game. That's gonna be 2-0.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Then Miami gonna go back and
win game 3 and 4. That's what I said.
Okay,
yeah.
Right.
Like I'm saying, I'm saying that you're saying that Miami's gonna win games 3, games 4, then go to Denver, win game 5, and then win game 6 on the road. That's what I'm saying. Sweep them. You're saying they're gonna be down 0-2 and sweep them. Is what you're saying. They're gonna win 4 games in a row.
I expect for them to win their 2 games at home and then go to Denver.
They gotta win 4 out of 5.
Win a game in Denver. Win a game in Denver.
So you're saying sweep them? Unless you're saying it's 1-7.
That's what it is. But what's that? Game 5 in Denver.
Yeah.
Then go to Miami. They might not. They probably won't win that one, so it'll be 3-3, and then go to Denver. I expect.
So you take them to 7. Oh wow, okay.
I expect them to win the 7.
So game 7 is gonna be the only road game they win in this series, according to you.
Probably, yeah. They're gonna have to figure some things out. They're gonna have to figure some things out.
Yeah.
And adjustments.
Oh man.
They're gonna make them adjustments.
Wow. Well, for all the Miami Heat fans.
And I ain't even a Miami Heat fan.
You want to have as much faith as this guy. Have as much faith as him. That's where you want to be, man. Don't get down because you down 1 game. If you lose tomorrow night, don't get down because you're down 0-2. Have the faith of this man right here.
Yeah. You right.
Uncle Reese got you.
You right.
He got you, y'all. Miami Heat fans, keep your head up. Yeah. It's gonna be okay.
And play that defense. Play defense like you know what I mean. You never played defense before. I need for Gabe Vincent to step up. Hopefully they bring Tyler Hero back and he can be a factor in it in the game, in the series. Bam had a good game, 26 points, 12 or 14 rebounds, or something like that. That was pretty good, Bam. We gonna need that from you. We gonna need.
Yeah, he had 26, 13, 5 assists.
13, yeah. We gonna need that from you, Bam. Because your hands is gonna be full with Jokic. You know, so we need that. And we need to be able to stick a body on Aaron Gordon. You know, we got to find a comparable matchup for Aaron Gordon.
I think they just got to pay attention to him and not lose him. I think everything will be fine if they just pay attention to the matchups. As long as they don't lose him, they'll be fine. Because every time they lose him, it's going to be 2 points.
Okay. So, you got anything else to say about this one?
No, man. I mean, my prediction for this series is just a gentleman's sweep. I think that Denver, even if they're up 3-0, I think they probably will lose Game 4 on, I won't say on purpose, but I don't think they're going to fight too hard to win Game 4. I think they'd rather close it out at home and have their first championship be at the crib and do it in front of their fans. I think that's, you know, I think they probably feel comfortable enough to where they'd be like, well, we can trick this game off and it'll be all right.
Okay. I'm going Miami in 7.
All right, well.
Miami in 7.
According-
Fans, stand up.
According to the Spitters, man, the championship will be won in Denver, one way or the other.
Yeah.
Game 7 or Game 5.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens, man.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate you for pressing the play button and checking us out. And this has been Sports Bit.
Yes, sir.
For, you know, it is what it is. And this is what we do when we through. Peace.
Like, subscribe, share, comment.
There you go. Even if you don't like it, comment, subscribe, and share.
Tell us why you don't like it.
And tell us why you don't like it.
And then we'll come to your house. See y'all next time.
All right.